Welcome to another Balanced Body podcast. I'm Chantel Lopez, and I'm an owner of Pilates Collective in Sebastopol, California. Helping me today is Melissa Kakavas, and we're going to be doing some variations on the traditional all-fours position, often called quadruped or tabletop position. And this exercise is designed to increase strength through the low back and the low abdominals, as well as strengthen the arms and the upper body. So Melissa's going to come onto her hands and knees, making sure that her shoulders are directly over her wrists, her hips directly over her knees. So bring your knees under you just a teeny bit. And sometimes this is hard to feel, so if you have a mirror to work with, that can be really helpful. You want to align the spine in a neutral position. So it's the position where you feel like your low back is supported, but you're not curled too much, and your low back is not dropping into the floor. So there should be no hanging or discomfort here. So find your neutral. Take a couple of breaths here into the back to feel the ribs widen. And then as you exhale, just deepen the core connection. So feel that narrowing through the waist. Do that one more time with the breath. And this is just to help you get situated. Exhale to tone the belly. It's a very gentle toning. Don't start to overwork too soon. Don't overwork at all. Exhale, deepen the abdominals. As far as the upper body position, to make sure that she stays working in the arms and upper back, I'm going to have Melissa think about pressing the floor underneath her away and drawing her shoulder blades down without collapsing the middle back. So there's a sense of width between the shoulder blades. Now hopefully that will keep her really actively engaged through the upper body. Her neck is in a beautiful long line. The neck position is going to be really important for maintaining the rest of the spine position. So make sure you don't let your chin drop down or your eyes go up. So you're gazing at the floor. Melissa's going to start the exercise with a simple slide. So she's going to take her right leg and slide it out behind her, keeping the pelvis very still, the deep low abdominals engaged. Keep the sense of space between the shoulder blades, the floor under you, pushing that away. She's going to bring the leg back underneath. So let's inhale to slide the leg out. Staying strong in the upper body, she switches legs. Exhale to bring the leg back in. Inhale to slide the other leg out. And exhale. As you bring the leg back in, you should feel a nice fold in the front of the hip. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. One more time on each side. Inhale. It's a lot of work in the upper body if you're really staying stable here. Inhale, slide the other leg out, and exhale as you bring it back in. Good. I'm going to have Melissa sit back and rest her back and her wrists for a moment. So you can just stretch back into any comfortable position. If this is not the right position for you because of knee tension or knee pain, you can just do a little bit of a curl from your hands and knees, or you can roll onto your back and bring your knees into your chest. So she's going to take a big breath through her back and just let everything relax, her tail dropping towards her heels. So for the second part of this, she's going to come back out into the quadruped position, all fours, and just make sure her spine is neutral. She's pushing the floor away from her as she makes sure the space between the shoulder blades stays wide. So to increase the challenge for this exercise, Melissa's going to slide the leg out, but then take the leg off the floor, increasing the work in the hamstrings and the glutes. This is a really classic glute exercise. And then she's going to bring it all back in, trying to keep the hips stable, still feeling that nice easy crease in the front of the hip. Inhale and lift. Good. And exhale as you come back in. You can think about your front hip points sitting on a table, and as you extend the leg up and out, don't let either of the hip points move as much as it's possible. And then extend the leg out. Good. Nice deep work in the hamstrings and glutes, not too much because you don't want the low back to overengage, and come down. And then I'm going to let her rest again. And it's important here too because this is a way of building wrist strength, that you give your wrists a chance to rest in between repetitions. So Melissa, why don't you come up for a moment and sit back on your heels and just roll your wrists around. So it's a nice moment to just make sure that the wrists are not being overtaxed. And go ahead and come back out, and we'll finish with the most challenging variation of this exercise. So we're not only going to lift the leg this time, but you're also going to move the leg from right to left, which increases the challenge to really stabilize the pelvis, which makes the low back and the belly have to work that much harder. So she's going to start with the glide, moving into a lift, and hold the position. If you start just a little lower, that's going to be better, so that you're not overworking the low back and you can keep this a long, stable neutral. A slight internal rotation of the leg bone, so you're rolling the big toe inward towards the midline. The leg is going to go out to the right and then back in towards me. And she's trying to keep her hip points sitting on that imaginary table. Shoulders stay broad. Not too many of these. Do one more, because they're a lot of work. Shoulders drawing down. Come back to center, take a breath, and bring the leg in. Beautiful, good. Take a moment to realign yourself, because that's a really tough exercise. Let's do the other side to finish. Extend the legs. She starts with the slide and then lifts the leg up. Not too high, making sure the hips stay parallel and the belly stays hugging the spine from the front. A little internal rotation, drawing the big toe towards the center of your body. And she's going to glide to the outside first, and then exhale as she glides the leg to the inside. Inhale. She's doing an amazing job. This is not easy. And one more. To the outside, deep abdominals lifting to hug the spine without curling the spine. And back to center, Melissa. Bring the leg down. And then sit back to rest. So again, you can take any rest position that you'd like. If this is not the appropriate one, you can roll onto your back and hug your knees into your chest. And that's our all fours exercises. Thanks for joining us.